Mantra. Can you speak about mantras? A mantra is a harmonious sound or group of sounds with or without a superficially intelligible meaning, but capable of creating and applying some definite and potential energy if properly uttered. When truth flows out of a sage spontaneously, whether in prose or in poetry, it is a perfect mantra. All attempts to correct it in accordance with standards of rhyme or reason are nothing short of sacrilege and mutilate the mantra, sometimes producing even adverse results. Therefore, accept it as such or reject it. You see, mantras are designed by the great seers. They are composed of groups of sounds with an active life principle, capable of producing specific forms and effects when pronounced in the proper tune. Mantras have a double purpose. At the phenomenal level, emphasis is on the audible part of the mantra. The form created by each mantra is possessed of certain particular powers. This mantra power, in exercise of some of its higher powers, confers upon the devotee certain benefits prayed for. But in the course of this process, one has to guard against innumerable possible slips or omissions. Mantra, if properly utilized, helps one to approach the ultimate truth. Just before and after every mantra, there is a visible gap into which the sound merges. In this gap, there is nothing other than one's own self or consciousness. Having once visualized before the Guru this nature of the self, if you pronounce the mantra emphasizing not the audible part, but the content of the apparent gaps, you are easily taken to the center of your visualization, the real self, and this helps you gradually get established there. Through the mantras, in the great majority of cases, are utilized as instruments of action. They can also be utilized for the purpose of liberation, if handled with sufficient discrimination, inquiry, and insight. Can you speak of the progress through mantra and meditation? This path is divided into 4 distinct stages, namely Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashanti, and Para. Instructions from the Guru, whose instructions take you to anything below the ultimate, may suffice for the first 2 stages. But for the last 2, the help of a true Guru is absolutely necessary. In the articulated, or the Vaikari, the chanting of a mantra in audible tone and affecting concentration of the mind is there. In the Madhyama, the meditating, is doing the same thing mentally and affecting concentration. This is still in the realm of the mind, and concentration is on an idea. In Pashanti, the seeing, here the ideation is transcended. It may be said that here one gets to the languishless idea. Unless one understands its nature from a guru, one will be in an unconscious state. I may say something about this languageless idea. I may convey an idea to you by means of one particular language. The same idea may be conveyed to another by means of a different language. One is certainly not a translation of the other. What is the language of that idea? It has no language because it has gone beyond expression. And if this is correctly understood, it is itself the background of the expressed idea of the first two stages. And he who gets into that state touches the background and is not in an unconscious state, understanding further that the languageless idea can only be one and cannot be many. This is the experience in Pashanti. In Para, the beyond, even the notion of a background is transcended, and self-luminosity of reality takes possession of the sadhak, the spiritual aspirant, and here he is in deep peace, which is changeless. Matter and life. What is the relationship between the life principle and dead matter? Everything perceivable is dead matter. The life principle alone can never be perceived. Therefore, the life principle can never be dead matter, nor can there be any duality or diversity in the life principle. It can only be one. Life transcends perception as well as conception. As we look from another standpoint, the life principle is the isness in everything. And from this point of view, there is no such thing as dead matter. Everything perceived is lit up by the self and is alive. What is meant in the Upanishad that states everything perceived is inert? All that you perceive is dead and inert, because in fact you do not see anything. The object, when you seem to perceive it, is dead as object, but is living in the higher sense as consciousness. That which exists can never be dead. Therefore, the material part, which is changing, alone is dead. The existence part of every object is life, or consciousness itself. This is not perceptible and is never dead. What are the ends of life? Life has two ends. The first is the body matter, which is the wrong end. And the second is the real I, consciousness, which is the right end. Spiritual aspirants alone take hold of a right end, and others take hold of the wrong end. The sage ignores matter and knows light. The ignorant man ignores light and knows matter. The sage sees light and matter both as light. The ignorant man sees matter and light both as matter. There is ignorance on both sides. The sage ignores ignorance, what is non-existent, and the ignorant man ignores what is really existent. Meditation. It is an activity of the mind and is purely yogic in character. Its process consists of specializing the object of its meditation, chiefly outside and in front of the one who meditates. Even if one tries to meditate on the formless, this idea of space and of the outside comes in. If one who has heard the truth from the Guru can transcend this tendency of spatialization. Meditation can well be used to establish oneself in truth. For this, the first thing one has to do is to give up the outside and to draw the meditation within, into one's own inside or self. The inside is supposed to be the seat of the subject, and there the subject-object differentiation is not possible. That spatialization ceases, and one stands as the real self. How to meditate? If you want positively to meditate upon something without losing sight of your real center, meditate upon the ultimate perceiver. Then the perceived and the perception both disappear, and the perceiver stands alone without being a perceiver, shining as the absolute. And this can be done in two ways. The first, meditating as the witness of thoughts. The second, meditating as the witness of feelings. What is the best time for meditation? It is at waking, but before becoming fully awake, so that the meditation might be the first activity on coming out of reality, shining between the two states. If you must have one, what is the best form of meditation? If you obstinately want to practice meditation, the best form for your purpose is I am. It will give the mind nothing objective to cling on to, and in every effort the mind will cease or die. This contemplation drives away all intruding thoughts, and you are established in the I. Slowly it becomes deeper and deeper, and the nature of consciousness and happiness begins to be experienced, since these are intrinsic in the I. During chanting or contemplation, though we begin with the word or sound, we never stop there. We begin to dive slowly into its meaning or goal of the idea. And then the chanting gradually stops, leaving you at the very goal. Thus, when you contemplate I am, you stand established in the real I principle, consciousness. But this I am can never be replaced by the term guru, because the guru is never an experience to anybody, while I am is a clear experience for all. Therefore, to lead you to the ultimate experience, I am is essential. It is true that after experience, the I am also merges into the Guru, who is transcendental, beyond even the background of the world. Truth is experienced in three distinct stages. In the first stage, in which you just touch the ultimate background, you reach the witness. In the second, as you stand as the witness, the witnesshood disappears, and you find yourself the ultimate, without a second to make you miserable. And lastly, the sense of absoluteness also vanishes, and you stand established in the ultimate I principle, the only reality, pure consciousness, Atma, the Self. The same idea is expressed in Atma Darshanam, when it states, I am pure consciousness, realizing that every object, wherever placed, is asserting me. I enjoy myself everywhere and in everything.